we are thankful that you have made us part of your day, and we want to talk a little bit now about local beef. Many of us are looking for local shopping and local ingredients to support our economy, and today we are going to look a little bit more closely at that with Kacie Tomerlin, the co-owner of Arizona Legacy Beef. We welcome you back to the show. It's been a while.
Thanks, Stephanie.
It's good to see you. Now, let's talk first about Arizona Legacy, and if people are unfamiliar with it, let's remind them why they should become more familiar.
Okay. Arizona Legacy Beef is owned by my husband and I. We're fifth-generation ranchers up in the kind of by the Prescott area, and we raise a heritage breed called Criollo cattle. And the history of the Criollo are just amazing. They actually traveled over with Columbus on his second expedition, and so they've been here in the Americas since the 1493 time.
Wow.
But they've been, since other European breeds were brought in, and so they lost popularity. But there was a group of them that survived kind of unmanaged by man in remote areas in Mexico, Central America. And our herd is actually descendants of those really preserved genetics.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and so, but the great thing about Criollo cattle is their tenderness. And if you can look at these steaks and just see how well they're marbled, that it doesn't look like a grass-fed beef really. Because a lot of times—
What would we see if it was grass-fed or beef-fed, you said, cattle?
Well, yeah, our Criollo cattle, they're grass-fed their entire life. They're on the range. And
what would we see that would be different if it was not that?
It's this, the marbling in here is what's unique about our breed, the heritage breed of the Criollo. That's really difficult to achieve in European breeds without kind of the traditional corn, the grain finishing of those. And so that's what we just enjoy about them is, and that translates into them being able to travel all over the range and make good use of the forage, improving Arizona's landscape.
And what kind of cut is this?
This is a tri-tip.
Okay.
And it's a great cut to, some people marinate it, but I feel like it's tender enough without marinating. And the difference why you would want to marinate something is if it helps break down those connective tissues.
Okay.
So,
and the connective tissues, to translate to layman's terms, would be like the chewy part that we're like, that's not going anywhere. Yeah.
But I don't ever want to make meat something that just melts in your mouth, because to me, meat should be enjoyed. It should be chewed, savored.
What would you recommend, since we're not going to marinate it, what kind of dish would be perfect for this tri-tip?
I would just put a rub on it. And on the Arizona Farm Bureau's website, fillyourplate.org, there's a, if you go there, there's multiple recipes for all sorts of meat, produce, different things. But on there is the recipe for our rub that we like to use on our meat.
Let's talk a little bit about the rubs, because I see you've got all these, spices kind of independently canned.
So I put them in here because I try to get different, like I buy the chili either from Arizona, New Mexico.
I like New Mexico chili. We just had enchiladas with New Mexico chili. It was really
delicious.
So
that's what this is. And then the basic of a rub is you want to start with, well, kind of going back to fourth grade, you have sweet, salty, bitter, sour taste buds.
Okay.
So I always like to start with that sweet and salty, and I sometimes start with like the 50-50. So you would get a coarse salt and then your sugar, which would be your sweet, and then you can kind of add seasonings from there. And I always like garlic and everything.
I do too, yeah.
But cumin and thyme are some of my favorite standbys, is to really kind of add some
So you would kind of add them all into?
Right, and that's what is in here. It's just a combination of all of these ingredients. And that recipe, again, is on fillyourplate.org.
I have to smell this just to kind of see how it all comes together. Hopefully I won't sneeze.
A Kansas City barbecue professional just came by and gave his thumbs up on it. So
that smells awesome.
Yeah.
I want a steak right now. Okay, so let's talk again a little bit more about how the kind of the ranch to the table kind of approach to buying and such.
Sure. So for us, we direct market. You can find our meat in restaurants around Arizona, and then also you can just go to our website and contact us and purchase it. And the advantage that we feel for that is just it helps people learn about what's going on in Arizona agriculture. And because all of America has the safest food supply, so it's not about securing a safer food. It's just about getting to know a story behind your food, which to me is just, it's
well,
fun.
and I think it's supporting families. And I mean, when you think about the people that are really working hard for our community, and to kind of support their family, that's what this is about. This is kind of the gentle reminder that you have options, and the option is to choose local. You know. So let's talk a little bit about fillyourplate.org when we here in the next couple of minutes. How about
Okay,
that?
sure.
All right, so by the way, the first 100 people who go to fillyourplate.org that we're going to tell you a little bit more about coming up, and who sign up for a subscription to the Fill Your Plate blog will be entered to win a cookbook featuring recipes from farmers and ranchers. Fillyourplate.org is a great resource to find what produce is in season and where to buy it, and really how you can buy Arizona vegetables.